Hello, I'm Vice Admiral Strawberry, and this is my One Piece review of Chapter 795, entitled Suicide. So, forgive me if I stagger or stutter, but I took notes just so I wouldn't miss anything. So 795, the chapter's called Suicide. Cover page is Nami and a gorilla, and she put the gorilla in makeup. So I didn't really like the cover page. I've seen better, like the one with Usopp and the Tengu and Pinocchio. That was funny. Just for context, last chapter was the Sabo chapter, where it goes back and tells exactly what he was doing when Ace died. And of course we had a 2-week break. So at the beginning of the chapter we see Fujitora roll a dice, and it lands on a 1, and he said it's the Eye of Straw Hat. I'm not sure what the significance is. Like, I know a 1's like snake eyes. I'm not sure why, or if he said, okay, if it rolls a 1, then I'm not going after the Straw Hats. But he said he's not, because he rolled a 1. So, which sort of confirms exactly what he said at the end of 2 chapters ago when he was talking with Akainu. He actually was saying that he wanted to go after the Straw Hats. Not that he was gonna leave the Marines and he liked it. And then we go back to the palace, and no one's seen Lucy since the end of his fight with Doflamingo. And ironically, Luffy isn't even in this chapter. That whole group that's still under Shosha isn't even seen in this chapter. And then King Riku talks to Rebecca, and he asks her, are you ready to take, your seat as princess? And it sort of cuts off. So it's sort of like the Vivi decision. So we don't get any confirmation that that's what she wants to do. So she might say no, she wants to go with the Straw Hats. But I know a lot of people don't want Rebecca to join the Straw Hats. I don't really, I don't like her. I don't hate her though, but it cuts off. And then it goes to the Curly Hat team, which is obviously Sanji, and we haven't seen them in forever. So, and we can see their ship. It's not very clear that any of them are on the ship at that point, but they're on some new island, and I don't think we get confirmation on what island that is, whether it's Zoe or Wano Kuni, but it appears that Sanji, Caesar, and Chopper are separated from Nami, Brook, and Momo, and they say they have to protect someone. So I'm not sure if they mean the other group, but with like Nami and other ones. Well, obviously Sanji's wearing sunglasses, so it has to be some amount of time where like they change their clothes, and then, so I'm not sure if it's the next day after they left, or like it's been several days. So yeah, so Momo, Nami, and Brook are fighting this sheep guy, and this geyser, this thing erupts. I assume it's a geyser, but it shoots out water, but the water doesn't seem to be like hot. It's not burning anyone. And of course, Momo and Brook are both devil fruit users, so they're pretty useless, and Nami has to save them. And then Nami swims them to like a tree branch, and then the sheep guy attacks them, and Brook blocks the attack, and then Sanji comes out of nowhere and knocks the guy out. And the sheep guy subordinates say the samurai is not here, so I'm not really... So that's sort of something leading into a plot, coming up. And then we see this little, like, furry type, like, human fox girl, like, hiding behind a tree, or human animal hybrid So maybe that's the person they're saying protect. We have to protect that girl, or so. And then we cut over to the Kid Alliance. So we see a big hole with horns of a person, and the size of the hole is like 10 times bigger than a normal person. And apparently one of the ships got sunk from the impact, but I mean, the impact of someone falling from a great height doesn't really have to do with their strength. It's just their mass, really. And we get this little panel. It's like a narration. It says, "The strong live and the weak die is like the only rule of the world," something like that. So I think that basically what they're trying to get across is that if you die, you're weak. If you live, you're strong. So something that can't die would obviously have to be so strong because it can't die. So we backtrack and we go back to that Sky Island where the Mad Monk was on, Uruga, or Oog. I don't know what his name. I can't pronounce his name. Also, the name is apparently Ruins at Baron Terminal. I don't think we had gotten the name of that Sky Island before. And if you look closely, it looks like there are balloons underneath the island, like holding the island up. So, but anyway, the man was jumping off of the Sky Island to commit suicide. I'm not sure. And then they start saying all these things about him, like he was defeated 7 times, captured 18 times. And as he jumps off, Urug says amen, because he's like a priest or something. So the guy, Urug lets the guy jump off because he wants to commit suicide. And then it goes on, it goes back to the current time, and they like reiterate and add more to the narration. Like he was tortured 1,000 times, he had 40 death sentences, and when he was hung, the chains broke. When the guillotine dropped, the blades broke. When he was stabbed, the spears broke. He sunk 9 mammoth prison ships. So, and then we get the reveal that it's 100 Beast Kaido, the Yonko. So here he is. He doesn't look anything like the silhouettes we've gotten so far. When you see all the Yonko, he doesn't look anything like that. So, but I remember they gave us silhouettes of the 7 warlords a while ago, and they look nothing like the silhouette. So, but I didn't think we'd be getting it so soon. I just kept, as the chapter was progressing, I'm like, oh, so Urg jumped off Sky Island and he landed there? Or this is just going to be like our tertiary character for the next arc, or I mean our secondary character for the next arc. But I was just thinking to myself, like, obviously this is sort of the character introduction, so it's mad hype. I don't think it may like lead to plot holes when you just like throw up hype like this, because if you remember the guy from CP9, the pink-haired one that used his hair to fight, and maybe he had white hair and he fought Chopper, he kept trying to kill himself, but he kept using Tekkai to stab when he stabbed himself. So it just makes me think, is he really suicidal? Is he really trying to kill himself? When he gets executed, is he using armament hockey to protect himself? So you know what I'm saying? So was he bound with Sea Stone? You know, that would make him weaker. And I had a question like, you think people can use hockey while they're bound with Sea Stone if they're Devil Fruit users? And is Kaido even a Devil Fruit user? So there's no confirmation, obviously, but you know, a lot of people speculate that he is, and he is like a Zoan. Also, like, if he really try to kill himself, I think he's only been using like methods of force. Like, he could still drown, or maybe he could just hold his breath so long that he gets bored and comes back to the surface, or someone finds him, or he, you know, can he? Because he sunk ships, so does that mean he was on the ship like as a prisoner and then he sunk the ship? And if he sunk the ship, wouldn't he sink down to the bottom and like drown if he's a Devil Fruit user? Or even if he wants to kill himself, he'll just let himself drown. Poison. Like, has he been to Impel Down? Like, did he break? Obviously, actually, he hasn't broken out of Impel Down since Shiki and Luffy were the only prison breaks. But I mean, would Magellan's poison kill him? You know, there are other means for suicide other than, you know, stabbing yourself. So yeah, it's sort of like the preface for his introduction was like the rule of the world is the strong live and the weak die. So it just attests to how strong he is, being that he can't die no matter how hard he tries. So he's just too strong. Not that he's like devastating in power. Well, yeah, not that he's devastating in power. It's just his durability. It's like he can't die, and if that's the one rule you're going by, then he's the strongest thing alive. So, and he says himself, "Oh, I lived again." So, I mean, it makes it seem like he's trying to kill himself, but you know, I'm sure there are other ways that he hasn't tried. So yeah, but also what's important is we see a scar on his stomach. So obviously someone's hurt him before, or some things hurt him, or he's gotten hurt before. Maybe he was a child or something, but maybe it was Shanks, but he can be hurt, so I guess he can die. I don't think it's... Because I was thinking, oh, so he's immortal, that's why Dofi's afraid of him, because he can't die. But I guess it's not that he can't die, it's just that no one can hurt him. Not even himself. So that's why Dofi's so afraid of him. And he says, like, Whitebeard died. Why did he have to go and die? Now I have to start this war. So for some reason he wants to start a war because Whitebeard died. I don't really understand that. And he's like, he needs his supplies from Doflamingo. So I guess he still hasn't learned about that. I guess he's wandering around committing suicide. We don't see any people with him, so I guess he's by himself. Maybe his crew's following behind him. You know, you don't really know. So I guess he's not on the island where DX Drake and his subordinates were looking for him. I guess he wandered off, or maybe that was him. We saw like a big like structure. It could have been him, since he's apparently a big guy. He's like 10 feet bigger than, or 10 times bigger than a normal person. So he was on that snowy island, and then he went to Sky Island. I think that was in the same chapter, so that must have not been the case. So he does have subordinates, but I guess they're not with him. But I guess they wouldn't jump off the Sky Island with him. So yeah, now we know who Kaido is. At the beginning of the chapter, I was really excited because they were looking in the newspaper. I was expecting to see Luffy's new bounty, and Law's new bounty, and everyone's new bounty, but I guess they'll save that for another chapter. Or they'll probably save it for right when they're leaving. So I guess we have to look forward to Luffy's Straw Hat's new bounties, the new stuff with Zoe, or not Zoe, but you know, whatever island Sanji's on, and a new plot starting to brew there. And I don't think they're really going to go much into Kaido. I think it's just, you know, they like to introduce characters and then leave it alone. That's how Oda likes to do it. I mean, we could just see Kaido trash the Kid, Apu, and Hawkins alliance, and then I don't want to say they die, but maybe they get trashed. Maybe they take him out. That's really unlikely, actually. But since Shanks has been hurt by a Sea King, I would think that he doesn't have crazy durability like Kaido. So, you know, you never know. And I mean, they were planning to take him down, so they probably had, you know, some plan of action, you know, some advantage they could use. So I don't know if they know anything about Kaido. So maybe they'll fight him. Maybe they won't. Who knows? We won't know until next chapter. So yeah, that's my review. Again, Vice Admiral Strawberry. Comment, leave your thoughts, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want more videos. Peace out.